Hey, welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. In this video, I'd like to show you guys that yes, you will still be able to solo some party content with these new changes. So, currently I'm on my pretty much maxed out DPS build. There are definitely a few optimizations that still could be made, but we'll go ahead and we will actually see if we can solo Lair of Lostmauth, and ideally die as few times as possible. So off we go. I'm going to make sure to change over to my AoE powers, and we run into our first group of mobs. I am using the actual artifact there, the Staff of Flowers, just to make sure that they don't kill me too easily. As yes, this is party content. Ideally I would have a tank and a healer to make sure I can get through these fights nice and easily. However, it is manageable without, but you're going to have to be on the top of your game and make sure that they don't absolutely wreck you, as they very well can if you let them do so. Now, to actually heal myself up, I'm using those Radiant Potions of Healing, and you can see when I hover over them, they're going to heal me for 325,000. So that is, if you look at my hit points, more than actually what I have, meaning I don't need to use a Stone of Health for these scaled content. That is gonna be something pretty good, because yeah, those Stones of Health are pretty expensive. Of course, those prices are dropping with the new lockbox being out there giving so many trade bars. But that being said, it is fortunate that now we can actually use those potions which we get through VIP to heal ourselves a significant amount. However, of course, in endgame you probably still want to run with a Stone of Health. So we're going on to our boss fight here. Now, even on the live server, this boss is known to do a significant amount of damage if you just literally face tank his hits. And I believe that will probably still be the case with these new changes. We will let him hit us a few times there and see if he actually does, and see how much damage he does to us. Currently now he has not hit us, and we're getting his hit points down quite a fair amount. He did hit us there once for about 50k, but yeah, overall he's a pretty slow moving boss, so this isn't going to be too much of a challenge whatsoever. We'll use our stealth there and our shocking execution. And now there's two of them as they split apart there. Let's use my crystal eruption there. That attack, I believe, from that Drake is something you want to avoid, as that attack is going to pretty kill you fairly easily, that tail spin there. Anyway, I believe Kasuna finished him off there. Pretty nice. She does do a decent amount of damage, but nothing compared to what she did before on the live server. However, I will admit she was a bit overpowered and she could do a whole lot more damage in scaled content than any other player could, and that including the chicken. It was pretty nuts, and I do believe it needed to be changed, as it's a bit outrageous when a companion can out DPS you. And this is going to be the end of this boss. There we go. Fairly successful. Kasuna did die there at the end, but well. And let's move on. So, progressing on through these gates, we have our next group of mobs here. Use my Path of Blades, make sure to dodge their initial hits, and just kill them off fairly easily. And so we have a fair amount of damage output. And that's them dealt with. See which doorway we get revealed to us. This one. We have another group of mobs here. Use my Path of Blades, dodge through them, dodge again, and then I can use a blade attack there from stealth, and we can move on using that health potion to make sure we're full HP for the next fight. You can use that smoke bomb to daze them. They won't be able to hit us, and those Path of Blades just for the damage over time. Make sure to move out of that. Ouch. Use a health pot there. I should have been able to get out of that one, but I didn't have enough stamina to do so. And that's them finished off. You always want to watch out for that crowd control. If they stun you and you're locked in one position for any amount of time, then they're probably going to finish you off fairly easily, with us only having 300k hit points. And there we go, Golem dealt with. Let's progress on further. And our final bunch of mobs here by the campfire. Use my Staff of Flowers. That'll slow them, make them harder to actually get towards me. And this should be them finished off pretty quickly. And that's them gone. And we're on to the second boss fight. Now, even on the live server, these two bosses, as there's two of them, those two scorpions, if you've ever done this dungeon, they can deal a hefty amount of damage. So it's going to be interesting how we can deal with those. We're going to ideally want to just focus on one of them, get him down, and then kill the next one afterwards. All the time, meanwhile, dodging their attacks. I'm using Death Strike here to be able to just dodge behind them fairly easily, and then also use that as basically an escape from their attacks, which is pretty nice. Getting out of those AoEs, they're not something you want to get stuck in. And yeah, Xuna will do her bit on both of them, using that bloodbath. Use our death. Oh, yikes. We'll use a health potion there. Get behind the boss. Dodge out of that eyes red. Alright, alright. You just have to keep moving. And all around, that is the toughest attack there. You don't want to stand still and get hit by that. That lava on the ground can deal hefty amounts of damage, along with them just striking me like that. Even with my current amount of HP, 300k, is pretty tiny. But yeah, a DPS can do this fairly easily, as they can have these advantage by that dodge, just literally moving out of their attacks. And by moving out of their attacks, you basically make them irrelevant, whether they hit you or not. Because you're going to basically be immunity framing their attacks, and they'll deal no damage. Xuna is dying there multiple times. Let's get out of there and use another health pot. We got a bit stuck there. Use a Death Strike, get behind him. Whoops, we got lit up by that fire from one of those pools by our Death Strike. Not the great positioning there. Now, unfortunately, I am solo, so my Assassinate isn't going to have that extra damage unless I manage to get behind them. Let's dodge that, use another health pot. Xuna there has pretty similar HP to me there, being at 300k, and that's that first one just about dealt with. Come on, we can finish him. There we go, he's gone. Get behind this next fire scorpion and we can get him down. Should be a whole lot easier now that there's only one of them. Ideally, I should have the Hallister's Blast Scepter here instead of that. Oof, and that knocks me out. I think I will use a scroll here, as we're only on 8%, and it will be a pity to reset the whole fight. But that can happen, and this is our first scroll used, so I'm not too sad about that. Oop, let's not stand in that fire. And we should have this guy down just now. There we go, Xuna finished him. And that's that. And now we move on to just have these groups of mobs, and we should be getting to the last boss. So let's also switch over to our lightning to help us against these mobs. Let's see how tough these guys are. On the live server, they're like really squishy. My powers don't seem to be doing a whole lot to them. So yeah, let's just take them one group at a time and not underestimate them. So that's them dealt with. Use this Path of Blades, dodge in, Smoke Bomb, dodge out. Used Blade Fury and Crystal Eruption. Most of them dealt with. It's Xuna's help. Ah, yikes, something there deals a lot of damage. Oops, we just kited the next group of mobs. And they killed us. So instead of using the scroll, we can literally just reset back here. We're going to have to go and run back. But those mobs are a lot tougher than I would have expected. It's like they never adjusted them. But, yeah, this should be fine. Ideally, again, we'd have a tank who would take all that damage and a healer who would help the tank survive. But, since we're solo, we'll do our best here. Sure to use that Staff of Flowers. It just helps out a ton by them moving a whole lot slower. We can just wipe them out fairly easily there. We're already on 69%. We just have another group of mobs to kill. Probably two more groups, actually. So we'll just wait on our counters to get to cool down again. And then we should kill these guys. Yikes. They deal so much damage, especially when they're all around you. Nice use of Crystal Eruption there on them. Wow. They just like absolutely shred you with their crits. My god. With not having the crit avoidance to negate their critical strike chance, they're always going to be able to critically hit you 50% of the time. And without having much critical avoidance stacked up, they're still dealing their nearly 60% more damage on crits. Anyway, we've unlocked that, and we just have this one last mob to kill, and we can progress on to the last boss. Unfortunately, we did die a few times there. Died twice to those group of mobs, and then that one time at the end of those scorpions. This time we will use our Halaster's Blast Scepter, and here we go. The dragon Lostmauth himself. Can't really get behind him because Ksuna's just going to keep following. We'll get our daily up, and then we can use our Halaster's Blast Scepter. Oh, I believe we still have our lightning slotted. Ah well, no matter. We'll do okay still. Get off my rotation. I'm definitely not the best rogue player out there, that's to be sure. So now we have our daily up. I'll use that Halaster's Blast Scepter, try to get combat advantage. Use my daily power and assassinate along with Crystal Eruption, getting all that maximum damage from that artifact while it's up, because it gives that 15% extra defense reduction. Ouch, we just got hit there. And we have his HP down below 50%, and wow, how'd that wipe us out? I'm going to scroll here quickly and get back to the middle. That would have been the fourth death we had. Move out of these rocks. They're always going to target me as I'm the only guy here. Can use that watermelon again there real quick. And there we go. Should have the boss spawning back in. And we should be able to finish him off without too much bother. There we go. Make sure we're in the right platform. Soon, unfortunately, just going to follow me and not give me CA. It would be great if companions actually had some coding where they would try and give you combat advantage. But ah well. Use that bell a little bit too late there. Can dodge this wing attack. Apparently not. A bit late there on the dodge. But no matter, it doesn't deal too much damage. We'll roll out of that. Oh yikes. Follows you for the split second initially. It's not having pushed me into the fire. No thanks. Okay, went invisible there from their shadow clad. Let's make sure that doesn't hit us again. Using the health pot, go back to full. Don't push me into the gold, please. Okay, there we go. Probably get CA against him. Come on, let's finish him off. Dodge this time. Alright. Should be our daily up any second. Dodge out of this. There we go. Use the Halaster's Blast Scepter. Fortunately, no CA. Don't think we can get any anyway. And that's it. That's Lostmauth finished. And we completed it there. Just under 18 minutes, which is all around pretty decent. Dodging, decent amount of damage, and how much damage do we actually do? 37 million, just over. And all things considered, not bad if I do say so. However, of course, definitely compared to the live server, it is a lot more of a challenge to solo, especially with this new scaling system actually having more of an impact. Overall, yes, it can still be done. However, you must consider my character is pretty much maxed out with, again, all those mythic mounts, all those mythic companions, etc. So yeah, these dungeons will still be doable as a solo character, but again, they're not meant to be. They're meant to be a whole lot more challenging if you do want to do them solo. Some of them are actually possible solo, like this one right here. I know this is not one of the toughest dungeons out there. You could have like Fanbreaker Island, could be a whole lot tougher. You can theoretically solo Tomb of the Nine Gods, but without having enough damage done by your companion, you're not going to be able to break out of the hand on the second boss. Anyway, if you'd like me to attempt to solo another dungeon, you can let me know in the comments below and I'll give it a shot and we'll see how we can do. Overall, we only died 4 times in this Lair of Lostmauth. I'm sure I can do it without dying whatsoever if I put my act together and try not to take as much damage and avoid more of the hits, getting my timing a whole lot more correct and positioning. But that's the fun of it, right? These things are supposed to be fun. They're not supposed to be just a walk in the park. Currently, they're a walk in the park, and they give speckle rewards. And yeah, they can't exactly give it good rewards because it's a walk in the park. But that aside, hopefully I've presented this well, and if I did, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.